For residents and business assistants, FEMA Disaster Recovery Center, the DRC, is still active. Kind of adjusted their hours Monday through Friday. They're operational 8 to 6. On the weekends, they'll be operational 8 to 4 at the Keao High School gym. The shuttles are still running from the shelter in Pohoa at the community center and the shelter at the Keao Armory. And as well, the Small Business Administration, SBA, is at the Recovery Center as well. And those groups are at the back of the cafeteria here if you want to hit them up after the meeting for any specific needs or questions that you have about their operations. Okay, so with that, we go into housing, and we have Roy Takimoto. He's going to give you guys some more surveys, I believe.
The mayor began by emphasizing how unique this disaster is. Piilani in the Pule prayed for intelligence to come up with creative solutions. What she was referring to in terms of the intelligence is not just us, it's all of us together. So what we're going to be doing tonight is experimenting with how we can get your input in a more democratic way where everybody can have a voice. So what is being passed out are these clickers. And I'm going to be flashing up some multiple choice questions, A, B, C, D, and you just press on the appropriate button. It works best if only one clicker per household, only one person per household is answering, so we get a better idea. And the answers is only going to reflect the answers in this room, so it's a small sample size. It's not the reflection. It's not a reflection of all of Puna. Also, don't keep the clickers. Return them when it's over, because these clickers are good for nothing. You know, it doesn't work with your TV or anything else. So please return them after we're done here. And one more point. You can click as many times before I say close, and your last answer is the one that's going to record. And your answers are anonymous. Nobody knows how you voted, okay? So, okay, I hope you can all read the questions. But if you cannot, I can read it out loud and I'll read the answers. Okay, so this is the first question, so let us test how well this is going to work. So you can tell if your clicker is working because when you press, there's a little green light that should be flashing as you press. Okay, so go ahead and answer the first question, which is, where is your property located? Is it A, in Leilani Estates, B, Lanipuna Gardens, along Po'iki Road, along Highway 132, E, Kapuho Vacation Land, F, Nana Valley, G, Black Sands, H, Kehena, Seaview, Kalapana, I, other. Okay, so, okay, I'm going to close. If you didn't vote, press now. So 1/3 of the audience here is from Leilani. So that's how it works, okay? So this is the results of the polling. About 20% other than these areas here. %17% along Highway 130. Okay, next question. Was this property owned by you as your primary residence? Were you renting? Was it your second home? Were you using it as a vacation rental? Was it a farm or ranch where you didn't live on the property? or something else? Okay, closing. Wow, that's great. Okay, so most of the audience, 80%, this was your primary residence. Status of your property. A, was it destroyed? Is it still standing but inaccessible? Standing in the mandatory evacuation area? Standing in the voluntary evacuation area of Leilani or Alaili Road? Standing but none of the above, but in an impacted area in terms of air quality or other. Okay, closing. Oh, quite split. So about 1/4 destroyed, 1/4 standing but in an area impacted by gas. %, in the mandatory evacuation area of Leilani. Where are you staying now? In your home, in the Pohoa shelter, in the Kea'au shelter, with friends or family, renting or other. Okay, closing. Oh, interesting. Okay, a lot of tough people here, toughing it out in your home. Great. About 1/4 staying with friends or family. Are you working or retired? A, working, B, retired, C, want to work but unemployed, D, other. So no worry, this is all anonymous, so just answer honestly how you really are. Okay, closing. 45% retired, 30% working. 17% unemployed. Okay, interesting. Okay, these types of responses are going to help us with the planning together with you to try and find solutions that match your needs. And this is not the first time we're going to do this. We're going to come back. If this is working, we're going to use this method to come back to you with different questions. How large is your household? 1 person, 2 persons, 3 persons, 4 persons, 5 or more. Okay, closing. Okay, more than half, 2-person households. If given a choice to rent, where would you prefer to rent? Puna, Hilo, Hamakua, Waikoloa, Kona, Kohala, Ka'u, no interest to rent at all. Okay, closing. Okay, 28% Puna, 35% not interested to rent at all. And pretty dispersed on the other areas. Interesting, okay? If given an opportunity to exchange your property for land elsewhere, where would you prefer? A, my home is still standing and I want to move back when safe. B, I prefer a lot close to schools and surfaces such as Kea'au. C, I prefer a rural lot in an existing Puna subdivision. D, I prefer a farm lot knowing that there may be requirements to actually farm. Okay, closing. 62%, which kind of corresponds to those probably still living there now, would want to return. When choosing a place to live, what are your top 2 considerations? Location close to work, location close to schools, location close to markets and services, pets allowed, or enough land to farm or raise animals. So click twice and your top 2 will take. Okay, closing. Pets allowed, 30%. Land to farm, 32%. 10% close to work. 7% close to schools. 21% close to services. How much do you think you can afford for rent or mortgage? A, less than $500 a month, $500 to $1,000 a month, $1,000 to $1,500 a month, $1,500 to $2,000 a month, or you're rich, more than $2,000 a month. Okay, closing. Okay, these are the kind of facts that can help us figure out appropriate price point solutions. Okay, so those kind of like ran through the permanent housing solutions. But if you had to wait 18 months for one of these permanent solutions like exchanging your property, where would you stay during this time while waiting? A, with friends or family. B, you can afford to pay rent at a place of your choosing. C, you would stay at one of our transitional shelters, which would be at no or minimal cost to you, provided it has accommodations for pets. Or D, none of the above, you have other plans. Okay, closing. Other plans. So it would be interesting to know what those are. So we need to talk to some of you to figure that out. Have you registered with FEMA? Yes. B, not yet, but plan to. No, you don't intend to register for whatever reason. Okay, closing. Hey, good. You all should register. And this question, because we're going to do this survey multiple times, we just want to know how much repeat surveyors are answering. So last week, we did this for the first time as an experiment. So if you were here last week, click yes. But if this is your first time, click no. Okay, closing. Oh, wow, a lot of repeats from last week. Okay. All right, so with this, we hope to work with you for housing solutions.
All right, thank you, Roy.